Welcome, yogis. Today we're going to do a short 10-minute seated set of postures. And as with all of these videos, being mindful if you have placed restrictions on you from your surgeon, your provider, your occupational therapist, physical therapist, whomever the case may be sure to follow those restrictions that are unique to you. If you have limitations, such as you will see my own physical body at the moment, I'm unable to fully straighten my left arm, it may be helpful for you to use some assists through yoga props. We can use blocks to help us touch the ground when we're unable to. We're going to talk about using props to sit on in a moment. But a yoga block, if you don't have a yoga block, you can find some textbooks, board game boxes, puzzle boxes, even the width of a toilet paper roll, having those next to each other. Something that you can use to help you, to assist you if you're unable to get a part of the body grounded to the floor. The same holds true for a yoga blanket or any blanket you have in your house. Just getting the width to where it's kind of the width of your body here, and then folding it up what they call accordion style so that it is flat across. And this can be used to help lift up the sits bones. Finally, a yoga strap, and you don't need to go out and purchase a strap of any kind. You can use a necktie, you can use a bathrobe tie. I used to use a shawl. So anything, a blanket rolled up, anything that you want to use that might help you, again, reach, bend. These are assists. So my yoga instructor who taught me yoga teacher training talks about how we do not use the yoga poses to, we don't use the body to get into the pose. We use the pose to get into, and I'll add, to feel the physical body. Okay, so using props or assists to modify your poses is perfectly acceptable, and in fact, I think warranted to help us be easeful in our yoga practice. So like I said, we'll do about a 10-minute or so here, seated set. First off, we're going to come into what they call an easy sitting posture, just the sort of cross-legged style. And what I want to point out right off the bat is many of us who have been sitting at a desk or driving in a car or, whatever the case may be, who have not yet opened up the hips today, may find ourselves sitting like this. And what's going on here? The knees are above the hips. And what we would like to see is the hips in line with the knees, or even better yet, and I'm going to show it by sitting on this blanket instead of the blocks for now, because I'd like to use my blocks in a moment in another way. But sitting up on my blanket, putting my bum onto the blanket, lifts up the hips, elevates up my hips so that my hip bones are now above my kneecaps. Okay? So go ahead and find whatever posture you will need for this seated practice that is most easeful for you today. As I mentioned, my limitations here on my left side, and rather than having my left arm just dangling out here and floating in space, already I like to show the use of the yoga block and how I prop up my arm in a more easeful way to do the postures. So let us begin. Inhale, gaze floats up towards the sky. Exhale, send that chin down to chest. Inhale, gazing up, lifting the head. Exhale, gaze floats down, chin to chest. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, gaze is down. Coming back to neutral. Inhale, turning towards one side. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, opposite direction. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, gazing to the side. Exhaling to neutral. Inhale, other direction. Exhale, neutral. Let's go ahead and do a seated cat-cow posture. And for this, I'm going to turn my blanket to the side so that you get a view of the spine here. We're going to, from a neutral spine, inhale, lifting at the chest, gaze is up. There's a slight back bend in the body. And exhale, belly button comes towards the spine, chin down to chest, round the spine. Inhale, lifting up, back tilts. Chest is lifted, shoulder blades guide down. Exhale. Curvature of the spine, chin to chest, belly button towards the back. Inhale, chest lifts, gaze lifts, back bend, shoulders glide down the back. Exhale, rounding the back, belly button towards spine, chin to chest. Continuing at your own pace, inhaling up and exhaling down. When you come to your cow posture, coming back to neutral. And at this point, we're going to do a C curve, so bending to the right and to the left. So as I mentioned earlier, I never want my hand or arm to kind of be floating out in limbo. I'm going to be placing it to the block, so I know I want one to go here. You may also find that having a block on the other side is also helpful to you. Again, you play around with your assists, your props that help you for the best postures. So inhaling one arm up and exhaling, bending to the side, gaze is up towards the lifted arm. Inhale, arms switch, and exhale, opposite direction, gaze looking up towards that lifted arm. Inhale, arms float. Exhale, C curve. Chest is lifted, gaze is up towards that arm. Inhale, arms lift. Exhaling to the opposite direction, looking up towards that arm. Chest is lifted. Inhale, arms float. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. One more time each side. Inhaling, arms coming up. Exhaling. Final direction. Inhaling, arms switch. And exhaling. Bringing the arms back to neutral. Great job, yogis. So we just did a cat-cow. We did the C curve. Now we're going to do some gentle twists. For this, I'm going to actually come off of my seated support. You can stay on a seated support if you like, but for this I'd recommend the blanket and not the block, because with the twist we don't want to fall off of our block. So if you need to still stay elevated, sit on something that has a little bit more length to it, like a blanket. We're also going to extend out one leg and have a second leg what we're twisting about. So go ahead and extend one of your leg. The extended leg, the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, so that leg is engaged. And your opposite bent leg is actually going to come over if you like, or you can keep it up towards you without coming over. Either direction is fine with us here. It's up to your body. It's up to what feels best for you. I'm going to choose this direction. So my right leg is extended out. My right toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. My left leg is bent, and my left foot is on the outside of my right thigh. I'm actually going to twist towards the left. So I'm going to take my right arm, and that reminds me I need a prop behind me so that my arm is not dangling out here behind me. So my right arm is going to bend, come on the inside of my left thigh, and lift through the spine to lengthen, and then exhaling, we're twisting towards our left. So inhale, lift to lengthen, or you may want to hug the knee. That's also nice. And then exhale, twisting towards your left. Inhale, the spine lengthens. And exhale, that left hand is coming down behind your body. As I said, I'm placing my left hand onto the block and twisting. Inhaling, you're lifting up to lengthen. And exhaling, twisting a little bit further. And make sure you're breathing. That front foot is engaged, pointed up towards the ceiling. And go ahead and gently come out of that twist. A short counter twist just to balance us out, going the other direction. And coming back to neutral. We're going to switch sides. So the left foot is going to be long. The left toes are going to be up and engaged. My right foot, for me, is crossed over my left leg. Again, you might choose to just keep it in towards you, whatever works for you. And at this point, I'm going to bring a block to a little bit behind me on my right side, knowing that the twist is coming. I'm going to lift through the spine, lift and lengthen, taking my left arm, wrapping it around my right knee, and as I exhale, twisting. Inhale, lift and lengthening. Exhale, twisting a little bit deeper. Inhale, lift to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Remembering to breathe in the posture. And go ahead and gently unwind from this. As before, just doing a small, slight, slow counter twist, and then coming back to the front of the body. So let's go ahead and finish up here. Coming back into our seated posture together, finishing off our practice. Inhaling, arms out and upwards, gaze towards the ceiling. Exhale, palms come together at heart center. Inhaling, lifting, gaze towards the sky. Exhaling, palms to heart center. Inhale, out and up. And exhale, palms touch. Coming to the chest in gratitude. Thank you for joining me here today, yogis. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.